What if you moved into a quiet small-town home and found out it already had a tenant? Not a neighbor, not a squatter, but something angry, malevolent, and waiting. This story isn't fiction. This is one of the most well-documented, terrifying, real-life hauntings ever recorded. Watch this video till the very end, because what happened inside the Sallie House has left even the most hardened skeptics afraid to ever step inside. You're about to hear the chilling real-life story of the Sallie House. The year was 1993. A young couple, Tony and Deborah Pickman, had just moved into a small two-story home in Atchison, Kansas. A quiet, historic town where everyone knows everyone. The house had charm, a white frame, a cozy porch, and a peaceful neighborhood. It was the kind of house you'd raise a family in. But shortly after they moved in with their newborn son, the peace shattered. Lights began flickering. Cold spots moved through the rooms. The dog wouldn't go near the nursery. And Tony began waking up at night to the sound of scratching. But there were no mice, no raccoons, only walls that seemed to breathe. The first true sign came one night while Tony was feeding their son. He saw her, a little girl no older than 6, standing in the hallway. She wore Victorian-style clothing. Her hair was dark, her eyes hollow. But before he could speak, she was gone. At first they thought it was stress, a hallucination. But then the child began to appear more often, in mirrors, in doorways, at the foot of their bed. She never said a word, but something about her felt wrong. Then the attack started. Tony would wake with deep claw marks on his back, chest, and arms. Once, while standing in the kitchen, he was thrown against the wall, as if shoved by invisible hands. On another occasion, Deborah watched in horror as a picture frame lifted itself off the wall, hovered, and then exploded against the floor. One night, Tony stood in the nursery, frozen. He said he felt something enter him, like cold electricity flooding his veins. He couldn't move, couldn't speak. For almost a full minute he stood there, eyes wide, until he collapsed. Afterward, he told Deborah, "She was inside me." The Pickmans reached out to psychics and paranormal investigators. That's when they heard the legend. Decades ago, or perhaps even longer, a little girl named Sallie was brought to the house when it was used as a doctor's home. She had appendicitis. The doctor allegedly began surgery before the anesthesia took full effect. She died in agony, and her spirit remained. But here's the twist. Investigators soon came to believe the girl may be a trick, a lure, that the true entity inside the house wasn't a child at all, but a dark, manipulative presence using the image of Sallie to gain trust. Things escalated fast. Tony became angry, paranoid, and withdrawn. He claimed to hear voices. He would black out and come to standing in random parts of the house, not knowing how he got there. One night, Deborah awoke to find him standing over their baby's crib, not moving, his eyes glassy. When she grabbed his arm, he snapped out of it, terrified. He had no idea what he was doing there. That's when they made the decision. They had to leave. The Pickmans abandoned the house, and to this day they say something followed them. Paranormal investigators continue to visit the Sallie House, and nearly all of them report the same things. Temperature drops, disembodied voices, electrical disturbances, aggression toward male visitors, feelings of being watched, always from the nursery upstairs. Tony years later gave an interview and said, "I don't think it was ever a little girl. It wanted to break me down. It wanted my family. It wanted control." To this day, the Sallie House is open for paranormal tours. Visitors often leave after just a few hours, claiming they feel drained, dizzy, or physically ill. Many never return, and those who stay overnight, they almost always regret it. The Pickmans never asked for fame. They didn't chase ghosts, but the house chose them, and once it had them, it wouldn't let go. If this terrifying true story made your skin crawl, go ahead and like this video. Drop a comment below if you'd ever dare to stay a night inside the Sallie House, or if you've had a paranormal experience of your own. And make sure to subscribe for more true horror stories every single week, because some homes don't need locks to trap you. All they need is a reason.